Okay, 18.5, just so that you guys know what it's about door-to-door transportation costs. Obviously, if you're going to ship some things, if you ever buy anything, have you ever had it shipped to your house? Yeah. Okay, so obviously there's shipping costs for the different things. There are things that obviously are going to be more money than not. For example, when I've got new hockey equipment, if it was my leg pads, I had to spend more in shipping costs for that because they were oversized. All right, as compared to if I were to buy a shirt, for instance, online, it would be a little bit cheaper than that. So, as far as what they have, they say there are a number of ways to ship goods, such as barge, train, truck, airplane, or a combination of these. Many shippers transport items door to door. Door to door means the shipper picks up the item, delivers it to its destination. The shipping costs may include air freight costs as well as trucking costs. The cost of shipping depends on the weight of an item and the speed of the delivery. Next day delivery costs more than second day delivery. Okay, so if you want things overnight, for instance, you're going to pay. The other day I was looking at buying, I don't even remember what I was looking at buying. And it was one of those things where I even had to calculate the shipping cost just to see how much it was going to cost me. And regular travel, flat rate was like $7. If I wanted it overnighted, it was like $45. So, was it that important? I don't know. I actually didn't even buy it. I decided against, I didn't need it. But, so, what did? Right. So, if it's something that you desperately need, then you have to be willing to pay for it. But shipping costs, the way it works out, is going to be equal to the weight multiplied by the base rate. Okay? It all depends on weight. Sometimes you also get charged because it's an oversized thing. So for instance, if I had bought a piece of furniture, I'm probably going to get charged a little bit more because maybe that thing is an odd shape, right? Okay, so it might be a little bit more because obviously the weight might be a little bit greater. But then also if it's an odd shape, they might have to throw in a different or more of a fee for that too. So, if you look at the top of page 597, that's the shipping chart that we're going to use for this assignment. Okay? And it says, for number 1, standard overnight. Okay? So if I look at standard overnight, I'm looking right in the middle of that column. And it says, find the shipping costs if the auto parts in example 1 on page 596 were shipped. On page 596, it says the Innovative Auto Company is shipping 650 pounds of automotive equipment from Chicago to Detroit. The shipment will be sent, and it says that over there, but it says 650 pounds. That's important. From Chicago to Detroit. Okay? And now we're going standard overnight. So if I look at, in the standard overnight column, city is Chicago to Detroit, it says it's $121.62. Which they should be able to make that standard overnight anyway. It's about a 3 to 4 hour trip from Chicago to Detroit. Okay? Then, from here, in order to get your base rate, okay, we're going to take the weight and we're going to divide it by 100. Now, the reason why we do that is because at the top of the chart it says door-to-door shipping cost per 100 pounds of selected routes. Where if you were to take the 121 times 650, I don't think you'd ever want to ship anything. Right? So for that particular thing, or for what you have to do for this, is you have to divide the weight by 100. Which when I do that, that gives me 6.5. So I'm going to take 121 and 62 cents multiplied by 6.5, which is how much cash? So if you've got 650 pounds of automotive supplies, whatever that happens to be, it's going to cost you $790.53 to get it from Chicago, where they manufactured it at a steel mill or steel plant, and up to Detroit, where they make the vehicles. Right? No, there's stuff in Chicago too. Number 2, Bax Saver. So we're still doing 650 divided by 100. And Bax Saver is $46. So I take the 6.5 and I times it by 46. And how much money is it now? Now you tell me. Obviously, there's quite a bit of savings there, isn't there? That's almost $500 difference. But what Bax Saver is, just so that you guys know, a Bax Saver isn't, it's one of those things where if you don't need the thing right away, you might want to do Bax Saver because it's cheaper. Bax Saver for shipping costs are things like that, you order it and you don't need it for like 4 months, and it might take that long to get there. It's not a priority. They won't get to it right away. They'll get to it when they can. So if it's something that you don't need right away, that's a way to save money in your shipping costs. Now, us as a consumer, if we're going to buy something like online, we want it now anyway, right? So normally we're going to pay for regular shipping or overnight or something like that, or next day air or 2-day or whatever. So anyway, if you turn the page, the directions for this part says, find the difference in shipping costs for the computers in example 2. If the computers are shipped, use the figure like we have been. And so we're guaranteed overnight versus Bax Saver. The computers that they're referring to is 330 pounds. Well, it's probably more than one. And it's going from LA to Ashleyville, North Carolina. So if I look at the chart, LA to Ashleyville, guaranteed overnight was $252.75, whereas the Bax Saver is $62. So again, I'm going to take the 330 and divide it by 100. What's 330 divided by 100? 3.3. So I take 3.3 and I times it by both of those numbers that we have. What's $252.75 times 3.3? How much is it? 834.075. Okay, say that again, Dennis. I'm sorry. 834.08. And what's 62 times 3.3? 204. And how many? 6 cents. 6? Now, on here it says, find the difference in shipping costs if they are done the different way. So what do they mean by difference? Subtract. Right? So what is 834.08 minus 204.06?
630.02.
Hey, standard overnight. Standard overnight from LA to Asheville is $197.10. standard second day error is 146.75. Okay? Now, there's another way of doing this. Now, what we did before was we found each one and then we subtracted them and got the answer. Another way of accomplishing the same goal is you can subtract the rates as is the way they are. So if I wanted to, I could subtract those two numbers first. And then I'd still take that, whatever that number happens to be, and multiply it by 3.3. And that will give me the answer also. So which way seems easier? Do you want to multiply both of them and then subtract, or subtract the two rates first and then multiply? What do you think?
I think the second way.
The second way is subtract them first and then just multiply one time? Okay. So what's 197.10 minus 146.75? What's Okay, now, when you look at the rest of the assignment on page 598, on 5 through 8, part A is just asking you for the number from the chart. That's what it's asking you for. So when it says cost per 100, and they want Atlanta to Dallas guaranteed first, they just want you to look up the number in the chart. So when I go over to and find Atlanta to Dallas, which is the very top one, and it says guaranteed first, that's the very first column of money. That's $196. That's A. Okay, that's how you get part A. Then from there, to get part B, you take 600 divided by 100, which is what? What's 600 divided by 100? 6. And you take 6 times 196, and that gives you part B. Where did I get the what from?
Oh, never mind.
Since it has 600 pounds,
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
always divide it by 100.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
No, it wasn't. Okay. Any questions on how to do that? Everybody okay with that? All right. So we got what page did that start on? 597.
6. Yeah.
Where the actual assignment was. Oh, goodness.